Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my platform. Those of you that are returning and those of you that are new, welcome to my platform. My name is Astraea Love, and I'm going to be doing a psychic tarot card reading for you guys today. So I hope everybody has had a good day wherever you're at in the world, you guys. God bless you. Please know that my readings are timeless, which means whenever you get to this reading, there's going to be messages in here for you. I suggest that you watch all of the readings on both platforms. Each reading is going to hold a personal download, an Easter egg of knowledge for you to decode, okay? And it's going to help you evolve spiritually and help you grow. Okay. I'm just getting my cards, making sure they're all in the upright, because I never start a reading with them being in the reverse. I feel like that would just be starting it, you know, with something already wrong when we want to start off on a good foot. Okay, so I hope everybody has had a really good day. My hands are, I'm just noticing how sore my hands are from the yard work, which while I was doing it wasn't that bad, but now my hands, I am noticing that they are very sore. So anyways, there are a couple things that I channeled. Oh, first of all, you guys could be changing your minds about something. Okay. At one moment, I was craving shrimp, just like shrimp cocktail. Then I was craving pizza, and then I was craving like fruit roll up. And I haven't had a fruit roll up since I was like 10. So I'm just like, where are these cravings coming from? Okay. And then I was looking at something and I saw, I want to say like a muskrat. It looked like something like that. Anyways, so I was going to look up the spiritual meaning of muskrat. It was the shape of a muskrat, but also it looked like it could shapeshift into a baby. Just real weird, real weird. What is the spiritual meaning of muskrat?
The muskrat spiritually represents resilience, deep emotional navigation, and creation, symbolizing the ability to overcome challenges. It's seen as a water totem, connecting to diving deep within yourself for creative solutions, as in creation myths, where it brings up land.
Wow, I like that. So if you don't know what a muskrat looks like, it kind of looks like a rat and a beaver mixed together. That's the best way I can describe it. Yeah. I used to have a cat. It passed away, but when it was alive, it got attacked by a muskrat, and this thing bit it all up its arm. And I didn't know what had attacked my cat, so I tried to keep it inside because it was an indoor outdoor cat. Tried to keep it inside for like a week, which was the hardest thing to do because anytime you go to open a door, here comes the cat, boom, trying to get outside, right? Okay, and so I put medicine on his boo-boos, and it was so bad like that his hair fell away like from his arm. So anyways, a couple days later, I go look out my back patio, didn't even notice he had gotten out, and I see this muskrat, and it's huge. It's a freaking huge animal. And it's got its throat completely ripped out. And I was like, "Oh my God, you got it. You got it back." Like he was like, "Let me go get my vengeance. Stop keeping me inside. Stop putting this shit on my boo-boos." I was like putting like Neosporin on it type thing. Anyways, I love cats. I love animals. They're so great. Anytime you see an animal in nature that you're like, "Oh, this is unordinary," look it up and see what it means. Okay, you guys, so we're going to get into the prayer. We're going to do the prayer. We are calling upon the Most High God and Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ and the Ascended Masters, our spiritual team of highest light and resonance, and our ancestors, our spirit guides and guardian angels. And we're asking that all of that together put a protective shield around us, but also uncloak these messages so that the people that need to hear them can. Also, if any of you have any personal questions, you can send me a $20 super chat with your question, and I'll pause the collective reading and I'll answer your question, and I'll set a 20-minute timer. Okay. That is the way that I answer personal questions. Eventually I will have a membership. I have membership now, but I haven't been doing much with it because doing readings on this platform and my other platform, I have another platform called the Psychic Tarot Angel Oracle, is very time consuming. So eventually I'll be doing just personal readings on the membership and just have the people that do want, you know, their cards read, personal questions, have them get the membership and then send a $20 super chat. But for now, I guess I'm still, until Spirit tells me that it's time to do that, I am still working on growing my population and connecting with people so that they know that the help is available. So we just want to say thank you, God. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm finding like little individual hairs. That bugs me so much. Thank you for everything that you're doing. Thank you for everything that you're done. Jesus, thank you. Ascended Masters, thank you. Divine Realm, thank you. Higher Self, thank you. We love you. We love you. We love you. And we thank you. And all honor, glory, worship, and praise goes to my higher self, your higher self, the Most High God, and the Divine Realm for everything that I do on this platform. Okay, so thank you for prospering us, God. Thank you for protecting us. Thank you for continuing to love us. And amen. Okay, so by watching my readings, you're agreeing to the contract of being in control of yourself, being responsible for yourself, and with any of the information being channeled. Also, if you guys could like the video, I would greatly appreciate it. It really helps this platform grow, and it shows me that the messages are resonating with you guys, which is really important. But yeah, so if I talk about anything in the realm of health and you feel like that resonates, please follow up with a doctor. That's just being responsible. If I talk about anything in the realm of legal, if you feel like that resonates, please follow up with a lawyer. Okay. And no bullying me, anybody in the chat or anybody in the comments. It will just get you blocked and deleted from the platform. And if it continues, if it's like one person coming back with multiple accounts, I am aware of that. Like, I know that it's the same fucking person. Okay. So if I have to, then I'll write the scream name down. Actually, I need to get a little pad and paper, but I'll write it down. And then I'll go to YouTube because I work for them, and I'll have you blocked permanently. So just be kind. Everybody's allowed to have their own opinion and their own perspective, but what's not allowed is religious condemning and bullying. And I know what people's beliefs are, but if I'm doing something that's so bad, go talk to God about it. Okay? All right. I'm like literally here to help people, and I'm only going to do that until Spirit says, okay, you've done enough. You've reached enough lives. You've made a big enough, you know. The thing is like God puts people like me and other people in positions where people think, oh, we're pagans, we're witches, whatever they think. I don't care what people think, but they may think tarot cards is witchcraft. No, it's not. And it's not in the Bible either. Okay. The tarot deck came out in the 1400s, but it was used as a card game. Now, I don't know how you would use this as a card game, but that's not relative. It wasn't used for divination until 1700. And so anyways, it is not in the Bible. There's nothing that says that you cannot be a prophet or a psychic or a seer or a teacher or a healer. All right. People need to get it together and stop demonizing everybody else and every single thing, because it's not just Jesus or the devil. There is a whole lot of gray matter, like all of the other things that are not, I would not consider you guys to be demons. Like, and technically the people that are going, oh, the ancestors are demons. Okay, so Jesus was an ancestor. So you're saying that Jesus is a demon. Make it make sense. I think people just continue to repeat things that other people say, and they don't ever do any investigation. They don't do any introspection, and they just follow whatever their belief system is. And I'm okay with people having belief systems, but I'm just not okay with people trying to religiously condemn me because I literally work for God. And somebody could be like, oh, but you're reading tarot cards. That's of the devil. No, it's not of the devil. The fuck? Do you think God would give me these abilities and then tell me to go serve the public if it was of the devil? I doubt it. So anyways, I'm going to be talking about the two books that are linked in the description box below. The first book is called The Truth of God. It's an advanced intuitive living book. A lot of people are like, how are you doing what you're doing? Are you talking to Satan? No. Do people sit around talking to Satan? How does that even happen? Anyways, if I were to ever get a message that was, and this is why I do not like to communicate with the dead, even though I can, because a lot of the times they say very effed up things to their own family members, especially when they haven't crossed over. So anyways, this book has changed my life. I've been using the techniques in this book for 10 years. I grew up in a religious household with these abilities, and I was completely frightened and terrified of my own gifts because I would see and hear things that other people didn't see and hear my entire life, right? Well, actually, some people did see and hear them and had experiences, but I will say that for the most part, I was the one having the experiences. So this book teaches you about your higher self. Everyone and everything's higher self is God. That's my perspective. When I read this book for the first time, I was like, I have thought every single thing, every word in this book. I have literally thought that before, but I just never told anybody about it. So when I came across this book, I was like, oh my gosh, this is definitely the way I think and see things. So this book reminds you that your higher self is God, that you have the power. Yes, Jesus is wonderful and great and a perfect example to look up to. But it's more about being a real Christian. If you are a Christian, is more about living as Jesus lived, okay? Like being in Christ consciousness, being compassionate, merciful, loving, caring, kind, rather than praying to Jesus for everything. Jesus already did his job when he died at the cross, okay, on the cross. That's my perspective. I feel like everybody should have their own relationship with God. And yes, Jesus includes that, but Jesus is not the 100% answer because Jesus is not here creating the problems in your life. You are. So I feel like you are the answer. God will help. Jesus will help, but that's all it is help. You are the, if you're causing the problem, then you are the answer. That's what this book teaches you, how to take accountability. So the first technique I'm going to talk about is the God technique, which gives you the ability to rise above whatever's going on. When I experience things that are uncomfortable or I don't like them, let's just say that, I do the God technique and I get my frequency above it. Then once I'm above it and I'm looking out through the eyes of source, AKA my higher self, I can see things as they actually are. And that gives me the ability to detach from whatever's going on from my ego's perspective of thinking that it's just one way. And then I can see things from a bigger perspective, basically. And then I understand all the time what the lesson is. Usually the lesson is, oh, I have a thought or belief that pulled this experience in, or, oh, I experienced this person in another life, or, oh, I experienced them, before. So I always go with what my intuition tells me, but the God technique will help you. What was that? The God technique will help you. I live on like ATV roads. So if you ever hear any like motorcycles and stuff, that's what that is. It's not actually called ATV road, but it should be because all of my neighbors have boats and ATVs, and even their kids have ATVs. So yeah. So when you can get above things vibrationally, you can then start to move past it. And I feel like that's an important part of, uniting with your higher self. Every time you connect with your higher self, your divinity, you become more of the fullness of God. We are God, but I'm not your God. You're not my God. You're God for your reality, because we do create our realities with our thoughts and our belief. Well, our thoughts and our beliefs. So you are God having this experience, not an extension or a part of you or God, not existing in the fullness, but God no less. But the more that you do the God technique and connect with your higher self, and again, if you have another technique that does that for you, do use it, please, because you will become the more of the unconditional love, joy, compassion, mercy, and peace that God actually is, and grace, I should say. Okay, so this book has so many different chapters in it, from controlling the mind to meditation, but I will talk about the techniques that you see me use on this platform. The second technique is the joy versus anger technique, which gives me the ability to ask yes and no questions so that I can get an immediate response back, because I don't like to live in confusion. And when you have an open communication with your higher self, God, that's a very powerful thing. Before my life, before this book, I've been using this book for about 10 years now with success. Before that, I wasn't asking questions like, should I go with this person? Should I go here? Should I go there? I was just allowing my gifts to work as they work, like by telling me, oh, I'm at a party, the cops are going to come. And then I would tell everybody, and some people would listen and some people wouldn't. And then people eventually started to just listen to me when I would like give a warning. But yeah. So the joy versus anger technique now, before I spend money, before I go anywhere, before I do anything, I ask, even with these readings, if I don't feel like doing the second reading, I'll ask and go, do I do the second reading? Because I know that my higher self, God knows what's the best for me. What knows what's in alignment with higher self and what's not. And so because the joy versus anger technique works on clairsentience, which is the gift that everybody has, it's like a gut feeling, you never get an inaccurate message. And trust me, when you start asking questions and you get a no, and maybe it's something you really want to do, please listen to yourself, okay? Because God is always enough. God knows what is for our highest and best good. God knows that everybody's path is different. The energy of God it's undescribable. We don't have human words to really encompass all of it. But I will say that there's been times where I've been like told no and wanted to go somewhere and done it anyways. And then ended up finding out, oh, this is why it was, a no, right? So now I listen to myself because I've had too many experiences like that where I haven't listened to myself and it just like turned out to be shitty. Okay, and then the next technique that I'm going to talk about is the mind technique, which gives you the ability to clear the mental and emotional baggage that you're carrying around with you via thoughts and beliefs so that you don't keep creating the same exact experiences, which I think is very important because our minds are like a magnet, and what we put out, the universe will bring back to us. But if we keep putting out the same frequency, the same beliefs, the same limitations, then that's what we're going to experience. And so by clearing those, being able to get rid of them gives you a chance for the reality to shift around you. And then there's the 1 to 10 technique, which you will see me use during these readings when I'm looking at a situation, because yes and no answers will get you so far, but sometimes you need to check like, okay, let me see the compatibility of this situation, this job, this, etc. person. And then this book will teach you how to get compatibility. And so that's another tool that you can use. I always use the example of like me asking about medication that I've been prescribed. Do I take this medicine? And I get yes, but then I feel intuitively that it's low compatible. I find out that it's a 3 out of 10. To me, that's low compatible. It's like my first marriage. Like, I don't want to go back into that type of having to fight, swim uphill battle type thing, run uphill, whatever it is. But, then I ask, okay, well, is 3 still better than nothing? And I get yes. So, using the joy versus anger technique with the compatibility technique to ask more questions, because again, it would have been worse for me not to have anything at all than to have this. And then I ask more questions like, well, why was it a 3? Why is it all medicines a 3? Because it's not 100% organic, it's man-made. That's the reason that I came up with. So I can lead a horse to water, but I can't make it drink. This is me leading you to water. If you guys do get this book, don't only read it, use the techniques in it. When things don't feel good, start taking control of your reality, because it's going to be for your highest and best good, and it will make you the most powerful person. Okay, the second book I'm going to talk about is for those of you that do want to learn to read cards for yourself and for others. For me, I didn't have anybody to teach me to read cards or to read people at all. I just used my abilities. And so when I first started doing readings, I would just sit with people and talk, okay? And I would just use my intuition. And then I would start using pieces of paper and taking down notes, and I would give that piece of paper to my client before they came in. And then I evolved to oracle cards, which oracle cards are much softer, you guys. The tarot can cut like a knife. So Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells is going to teach you how to read cards for yourself, which is one of the most difficult things to do, and how to read cards for others. So this book is written off of the original Rider-Waite Tarot deck. I have this book and this exact deck. This is the one you want to use, linked in the description box below. It has the descriptions on the cards, so you don't have to flip through another book when you're doing the reading. So you can dissect the tarot into 2 sections. The major arcana cards is what I wrote this book on, because those are the major transitions, like the High Priestess, the Death, the Empress, the Emperor. Those are the 2 highest female and masculine ranking cards in the whole deck. And then the Emperor and the Empress are all of the, well, the Empress is all of the queens combined, turns into the Empress. Then the Emperor is all of the kings combined, turns into the Emperor. Okay, maybe we'll read from the Chariot. The Chariot, the Strength. So how this book works, well, first of all, let me talk about Vassago. Vassago was an Ars Goetia spirit that King Solomon worked with way back in the day. But when King Solomon worked with Vassago, he was just a spirit of, seeing patterns play out, basically. How he reads past, present, and future as he sees if somebody's on the same path, what that's going to create. And that's like foresight, right? But when King Solomon was working with Vassago, tarot cards didn't exist, so he wasn't as relative. Like, he wasn't as important as he is now. Let's just say that. So since tarot cards now exist, so I'll explain how this works. While you're a human, you will experience every single card in the deck at one point or another, either yourself or through somebody else. And so that is how it maps human consciousness. And that's how it's able to reveal things and predict the past, present, and future. So you can use this book one of two ways. Well, first of all, it starts off with an initiation with Vassago. Which you can either do or not do. Why I put it in here is for those of you that are going to read cards for yourself. A lot of the times you'll be wanting to see a certain situation play out. And, due to the fact that you're looking for that situation, you may be missing what's actually there. Vassago has helped me move past that blockage, which I do feel like it's a blockage that almost everybody's going to experience, especially when you're doing a reading to look for something, right? You might miss what's actually there. Then it goes into a prayer that's much longer than the one that I do at the beginning of this reading, but it will protect you and the person that you're reading for. And not that I think that doing readings means you need to be protected, but I just feel like it puts your best foot forward, and you're involving God and the Holy Spirit, and you're using this as a divine tool rather than in any other type of way. So you can use this book one of two ways. You can either go from the beginning, tarot card spread, and so for each tarot card spread, there's a spell, but the spell, it's not like what you're thinking. It's not like actual spell. It's more of a manifestation technique, and it's with God and the Holy Spirit. So there's no way, and it's designed for you. There's no way you can use it on anybody else. But yeah, so basically you do the tarot card spread first. It gives you the information that you need. Then when you do the spell, you can have you have the information that you need, right? So you can either go from the beginning to the end. This book does start off with the 14 major arcana, 14 zodiac tarot card spread, where you pull 2 cards for each position. You'll shuffle the entire deck. You'll pull 2 cards for each position. One position will be your south node, where your ego's at. The other card will be your north node, where your destiny is at. And then the spell that goes along with that is to connect with your destiny. So it gets you moving in the right direction. Okay. And then, so yeah, you can either go from the beginning to the end, or let's say you want to be a police officer and you want to know if that's in alignment with your life. Maybe you want to be a CIA agent. Maybe you want to be a spy. Maybe you want to be, I don't know, what else is there that's like that? Detective. Okay. Going to the Chariot card. Maybe you want to find out if you're going to get a new car soon. Maybe you want to find out where you're being blocked. You can either use this book by going from the beginning to the end. There's no wrong way to use it. I'll tell you that. Or you can go to specifically whichever major arcana card represents the situation that you're wanting to read about or look at. Like, let's say you want to know about love. You could go straight to the Lovers. So you don't have to do it in order, but I would do the prayer first and the initiation with Vassago for those of you that are comfortable. Again, Vassago is very patient, loving, and kind. Extremely. I mean, he helped me work with God and the Holy Spirit to create a book that can be used over and over again, and it will get you new information each time. Okay, so I'm going to read a little bit from the Chariot tarot card spread because that's what I have out here. And that is 152. Okay, So the Chariot is, so every tarot card has a number, a zodiac sign, and a yes and no or maybe answer that goes along with it. So the Chariot is the number 7. The answer is yes. The zodiac is Cancer. The Chariot can represent a vehicle. Your body is a vehicle for your soul. Your car is a vehicle for your body. The Chariot can also represent the police. It is a card of success, confidence, and determination. The Chariot shows victory over illness, enemies, and financial problems. The goals of the Chariot are achieved through self-control, willpower, and discipline. Hard work pays off. Stay focused on the battle at hand. Take satisfaction in your accomplishments, but avoid arrogance. You are established and respect has been earned. The Chariot is in a position of power. I like the Chariot card. Even though a lot of the times when I'm doing readings, I do pick up that it's a police energy. Sometimes I pick up that it's you overcoming an illness, having a victory in some type of way. So you'll shuffle the entire deck until you feel like you're ready to pull the cards. And then you'll pull one card for each position. Position 1 is this star crown on top of the Chariot guy's head. This card position shows you the higher intellect. If you're compatible to work in law enforcement or as a detective, spy, CIA agent, or FBI agent, or other informant, you will pull the Chariot card for this position. This position can reveal to you the star of destiny that is guiding you towards your greatest soul mission and divine light. What spiritual power and authority that you have or hold may come through the card for this position. Let's see, I'll read position 3, which is the Chariot driver, which is the actual person. This card can reveal the self that is in control of the destination and vehicle that is being driven. This card position can show you how close you are to the final destination. Are you on the right path? Can a quicker way be made? All of those answers can show up in the card for this position. Okay, and then the Chariot tarot card spells to remove obstacles. And why you do the spread first is so you get the information of whatever obstacle it may come up through the reading. And then you can do the spell. So you actually work with the archetypal energy of the card. So I'm just going to read the prayer that I have for the Chariot. Yeah, like this one, you'll write down whatever obstacle is in your way, and you'll put it in this box, and you'll put the Chariot card on top of your written obstacle. And then once the obstacle is removed, you remove it and you throw it in the trash like you would want to throw any other obstacle away. You visualize that your obstacle is being thrown away and removed from your life permanently. And you imagine that the obstacle is gone forever. So I invoke, draw in, and evoke, draw out the Chariot archetype energy. I activate my divine Merkaba light vehicle of transportation. I align with my UFO vehicle. I align with my physical vessel and personal vehicle. If you don't have a vehicle, then just recite, I align with my physical vessel. Okay, and then in the back of the book, if you were to pull more than one of the major arcana cards out together, I would go to the first major arcana card that you pull, look it up in the back, and see if that card combination is there. I probably don't have every card combination because this book would have become way too long, but I do have the ones that I felt like were the most important. So... okay, so I'm going to read from the Chariot. Often the Chariot is associated with a vehicle and a fast-moving energy. This vehicle could be the Merkaba light vehicle, a vehicle/car, or the vehicle for which you have life, your physical body. The Chariot can also be related to the authorities or police. If you pull the Chariot in the reverse, it could indicate that you are dealing with crooked, corrupt police officers. It can also mean that you're being illegally surveillanced by the authorities. If you pull the Chariot with the Justice Tarot card, it could indicate that the justice system may be involved. If you pull the Chariot and then pull the Empress in the reverse, it could indicate that DCFS or Child Protective Services may be involved. If you pull the Chariot card and then the Devil card, it could indicate that an officer of law is possessed or under the influence of demons. If you pull the Chariot, then the Eight of Swords card, it can indicate that someone will be going to jail or prison in the future, especially if they stay on the same path. And it just keeps going on and on and on, you guys. But you get the gist of how this book works. Check it out. It's Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells for those of you that do want to learn. And for those of you that are just wanting to develop your intuition and your connection, the truth of God, this is me throwing you guys bones because I didn't have anybody to teach me. Well, I guess I had Vassago and God, but other than that, I didn't have a person to be like, oh, this is how you do it, you know? So anyways, the Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells is superior to all other tarot knowledge that exists. You can use those tarot card spreads and spells as many times as you want, and you will have success every time. And then if you do decide to read for others, you know, you can't do the spell for them, but you can tell them how to do the spell, right? So that they can actually take some type of action in their own life, which I feel like is much better than feeling helpless and hopeless to creating your reality. Okay, and I feel like the major arcana cards, they do map a lot of the major transitions that you'll experience as a human. So I've created the spells to help you in whatever way you need assistance. Okay, yes, thank you to Vassago. He's so amazing and kind. All right, so the message that I got today was that somebody wants you to be really disappointed. And the feeling I got from this person was like, they get off when they know that you're disappointed. Maybe not sexually, but they definitely emotionally, like they have like a emotional orgasm when they know that you are feeling disappointed, which is really sad. It's sad, but we're going to figure out who this person is that wants you to be disappointed. Once you figure out that somebody wants you to be disappointed, then you can stop holding a high expectation with them. Or I would say a high standard. You can be like, oh, okay, this person's on the dumb shit. I don't need to like hold them to a high standard. And then I would just straight up, if you find out somebody did spell work on you, stay away from them. If you find out that anything that you can't trust somebody, just stay away from them. Okay. Listen to your gut feeling, listen to your emotions, listen to the information, because God speaks to us through visions, dreams, nature, emotions, intuition, angel numbers, all of that. And so you just have to be open to receiving the signs. That's all. And I get that, like, you guys are so loved. You just need to know that God, Jesus, whatever you believe in, loves you. Okay. 9 of Pentacles. So whoever wants you to be disappointed, I feel like this person is like, I want them single forever. Like, they may not be going to a practitioner, but they are saying to the universe, like, I want this person not having anyone to love them. Like, and this other person that's saying this shit has multiple partners. I can tell already that they're very promiscuous with their energy. And I'm not judging anybody that's promiscuous, but I will say, when you're at least a woman, I mean, sex is so powerful. It's such a powerful portal. It literally leads to the procreation. Is it word procreation? Well, it leads to creating more people, which is, we don't own our children. We were the vessel that God used to bring them into existence. That's what I believe. So I believe that children should have rights, like, and maybe there's not actual rights written for them, but they should have rights. And that's just my opinion. I don't have children though, but if I did, I would allow them to be themselves. I would definitely would not hit them, especially if I did not want them to hit others. You can't be a bigot while being a parent. I mean, a lot of people do. They'll say, don't say that bad word, and then they'll say bad words, right? I mean, when I was a step parent, I did swear, but I always said, don't say these bad words because they're bad. She like really, I love my stepdaughter. She's awesome. Most wonderful experience. So the 9 of Pentacles is like you being able to stand on your own 2 feet. This is, you getting to go on an adventure, you being single, self-sufficient, stable. Okay. This is what God is preparing you to be, if you're not already. Also, if you guys were feeling stagnant, you're being prepared. I just saw the word restock in my mind. What is that about? Oh, when you see me asking yes and no questions, I'm not asking no spirits outside of me. I'm literally using the joy versus anger technique, just to let you know. Okay, let me ask about restock. What does that mean? I think you're here to restock something within the human race. Like something that, okay, it feels like something that slips through other people's fingers. So maybe you're here to bring back enlightenment or a new way of thinking, a new product, something that's healthy, something that's long lasting. And if you don't have anything planned, you're going to get divine inspiration to do something. Okay. Death. Because this other person, they're sitting in the energy of death. They're experiencing endings. Somebody wanted to cause you to not be able to stand on your own 2 feet. And then on top of that, after they tried to permanently disable you, and I hate to say that, but this person did in every type of way, wanted you disabled. After they tried to disable you with death, then they wanted you to also be rejected by every system. And I feel like that's ridiculous. If you got on disability, good, okay? Because you deserve to be on that. You deserve, every person on this planet deserves to be taken care of. Now, the fact that the government does not ensure the well-being of women and children goes to show you that the government does not love us. Because if we cared about the next generation and the procreation of the human race, then we would be making sure that every woman and child had food in their home and a place to live and their bills paid. Okay? That's the smartest thing. And I'm not a politics person, but if I were to ever become president, holy shit, I would change lots of things. First of all, I would make a governmental college that was free for people. And I would, have the government pay the teachers. Teachers get paid nothing unless you're like a professor at like Harvard or something. Then you probably make a couple $100,000. But literally, teachers, the job sounds appealing, but holy shit, they don't get paid anything, especially like grade school teachers, which I think those are the most loving, tolerant people, when you have a good one. So what I'm getting here is that somebody wanted to blind you, put you in the dark. It's given Batman energy. Like, Batman doesn't really have any real superpowers. He just is not afraid of the dark because he went into the Batcave, and he has Alfred, who is a badass, who creates all of his weapons and stuff like that. And he probably took like martial arts or something like that. But yeah, it's giving Batman energy. Like somebody wanted to put you in a dark cave with a bunch of bats thinking that you would lose your mind. And what happened is you turned into Batman. Like that's the analogy that I'm seeing. So this person, every time they try to put you through trouble, it's like you actually grow from it and then you evolve like a Pokemon. Like you get enough candies and enough stardust and then boom, you go through an evolution. Queen of Wands. This is the person that you're dealing with. This person is definitely a witch. And we're not stereotyping witches with the black cat and the wand right there. But we're just saying this person is a witch. That's what they are. That's what they identify with. I don't identify with being a witch because I don't cast spells on people. But some people, they do. This person identifies for sure. They're either a closet witch or they're one that's blatantly saying I'm a witch. And don't fear people that say they're Satanists or that they're witches. That doesn't mean that they're bad people. It sounds like they would be, but that's not actually true. Just because someone labels themselves as something, a lot of the Satanists don't even believe in Satan. Okay? They don't believe in a real devil. And so they believe in rebellion and the story of the devil, basically. So it's like theosophical Satanists. And then there's another group of Satanists that do believe in the devil, but it's completely separate. So this is why I feel like you don't need to be afraid of this person. Whatever they were doing, they've already done enough. They tried to put you in homelessness, poverty, prison. Like this person has casted so many spells that it just at this point seems like it's bouncing off of you. And you could be doing something to raise your vibration. I will tell you what, there was a time in my life when I was married and up under spell work. I did not believe that witchcraft was real. I did not believe that evil eye was real, none of that, right? But of course I was up under it when I didn't believe in it. Then when I came across the person that I was with, witchcraft items and books and all that shit, I was like, wait a minute, what? Like, what is this? And then when I broke free of the spell, it was an overnight thing. And I threw that person away like the garbage that they were. Okay. And now I know that witchcraft is real. I just rise above it though, continuously, because people try to send it to me all of the time. And, I'm grateful that I have, ancestors and spirit teams and all of that to help me. I really am. And so I feel like this Queen of Wands, they believed something that was not true about you. And this is something that's like a fundamental thing about you as a person that they believed some type of lie or inaccurate information. Okay. Maybe this Queen of Wands thought that you were trying to unalive them. I don't feel like you have that type of energy, but I will say that this Queen of Wands, they act impulsively from their emotions and not from like better reasoning or logic even. Because like it's just like to send out negative energy to other people intentionally and to formulate it with whatever else is out there, to me, it's giving desperate. It's giving desperate hoe. And then it's also giving like these people are so unaware that what they send out will come back right to them. Oh, I'm sorry. They're not letting you send a super chat. So if that ever happens, you guys report it to YouTube. I've asked you the YouTube about that, like the people that run it, you know, and I've said, you know, some people, they say that they don't get the notification. Make sure you've tapped the notification. And I'm like, what do I do about that? And they basically say, oh, tell the person to report it. So if you're having that experience, I would like log off, log back on, see if it changes, and then report it to YouTube and say, hey, why is it not letting me do a super chat? Because I've had a couple people say that. And so unfortunately, they won't even address it until they have somebody who's reported it. And I can't be the one that reports it for whatever reason. I just feel like YouTube system is extremely lazy and like, you know, but I will say that since I had them look at my channel, things have actually gotten a lot better, but it took a minute. So the Queen of Wands, this person, maybe they're afraid that you're going to find out that they were the ones sending the magic to your life. I feel like you already know who this person is. Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, they were definitely trying to send somebody to bring an issue to you. And I feel like you guys are basically people that in your mind, you're like drama free, like stress free, drama free, living a blessed life, living my best life, or you're at least attempting to. Again, are any of us perfect? No. That's why we have Jesus to look up to, because he was as perfect as a human could be, even though he's really a divine being, but still. Everybody could learn something and become a better person by adopting Christ consciousness. Like I truly do believe that in my soul. I feel like Jesus returning is not going to be a person. It's going to be through each and every individual person and gaining Christ consciousness. And then the world will shift, kind of like the 100th monkey syndrome. So let me ask about this Knight of Pentacles. The Queen of Wands dating the Knight of Pentacles? No. Okay. Is the Queen of Wands... So there's a level of deception going on here. I get that this Knight of Pentacles could be a practitioner of some sort. Yeah. Okay. So maybe the Queen of Wands tried to date this person to get free spell work and it didn't work. The Hermit in the reverse. What? So I get that the biggest difference between you and these people, besides vibration and consciousness and awareness, is that you have isolated yourself from people, places, and things that no longer serve you. That's why you've avoided traps and tragedies. These people, they hang around a bunch of people that are not for their highest and best good. They're not ever using their intuition. They think the answer to getting their life to get better is more witchcraft. I think that they should just stop doing the witchcraft, because the witchcraft is what's making their life shitty. Okay. But that's my opinion. So yeah. The Hermit in the reverse is somebody that distrusts others' opinions, okay, when they need to. I bet there's been somebody that told this Queen of Wands to leave you alone and she didn't trust them. That's crazy. Dwelling on the past is holding them back from progress. And if you're dwelling on the past, release it, because it's not going to help you to keep dragging around the same garbage, right? Once you throw something in the garbage, don't go back to the garbage and take it back out. Take it to the trash can outside or the dumpster, metaphorically. So yeah, rushing to decisions creates most of their problems. Remember I said these people, they don't think, they just act off impulsively off of their emotions. It says if they keep doing the same thing that they've always done, the results will be the same. That's for anybody, right? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, thinking you'll get a different result. And that's what these people are doing. They're insane. It says, rely on others and trust their judgment. Okay, so these people can't stay away from each other, first of all, even though they're toxic. I don't get that there's a physical relationship between them, like a sexual one, but I do get that there is a spiritual cord tying these people together because of whatever spell this Knight of Pentacles tried to help the Queen of Wands with. And yeah, this Queen of Wands could look very attractive. They could look like the best answer or whatever, you know. They could be, like I said, very attractive. The Queen of Wands, her main trait is being attractive, right? Usually full of new ideas, protective and supportive of others. So I'm wondering is why this person who feels like they're so much better looking than you, etc. I think beauty comes from within, but yeah, they feel like they're the hottest thing, you know, in the world. Okay, I will just say that their confidence is like obviously been manipulated with witchcraft. So 8 of Pentacles, this Queen of Wands is looking at what you do for work, and they're wanting to be co-owner, creator, like they're wanting to be a part of something that you do or something that you're going to do. Or something you're working on, or something that you used to do. And like, I get that there's going to be more than one person doing a certain type of thing, but people just really need to start getting in their own destiny and not following, wanting to do what everybody else does. Like, have a genuine inspiration of their own is where I'm getting at. And whatever you have is a genuine passion, genuine inspiration. If you work on whatever this idea is, it's going to be very fruitful. It'll be self-stabilizing. Okay. King of Wands. So there's another person coming out. This person is very sexual. They're focused basically on sex. That's the energy that I get from them. So is the Queen of Wands with the King of Wands? Yes, those two people are sleeping together. Interesting. It says that the King of Wands is a handsome, charismatic person, but I do not get that. I don't get that this person's attractive. At least I wouldn't find them attractive. Let's just say that. I can't say that they're not attractive to anybody, but whatever this shit is that they're trying to do to make them attractive, no way. Especially when these people look at you and they're very narcissistic about the way that they see you and what you're doing. Okay. They're only thinking about themselves. Well, you could be doing something with your intuition and your spiritual gifts and the wisdom and knowledge that you have. You could be getting ready to write a book, create, a program, create a healing course. It could be anything. You could be getting ready to do shamanism. As far as spiritual practices, I feel like it's the intention you have going into them, but I will say that there are some spiritual practices like using a Ouija board. If you don't know how to do it correctly, and don't you do that shit if you're on substances, okay? Because you'll pull in something that's totally horrible. But I will say that Ouija boards, I don't feel like are safe. They're not the same as tarot cards. They're just not. And then, transcendental meditation, I don't want to say that's not safe, but I will say that you could enter into realms that you don't want to see what's there. Okay. I'll definitely say that. Yeah. So, and then astral projection is another one. It just depends on how you use it. I think a lot of people astral project in their sleep when they're dreaming, but I will say that, a lot of witches and warlocks, they do astral projection because they want to spy on people and know what other people are doing so they can figure out how to formulate their witchcraft. So you're doing something with your intuition, with your natural gifts and abilities. These other people are working on you. They're not working on their own life. And these people are on the same bullshit that they were 10, 20, 30 years ago. Like this, the same energy. You've gone through an evolution. Like I said, a Pokemon evolution. You just boom, change, become something else. This Queen of Wands still thinks that you're whatever they thought you were in the past. Knight of Cups. I'm not saying you're a Knight of Cups, but maybe this person was putting you in the category of, you know, wanting to be with somebody or be somebody who's sensitive to others. The Knight of Cups is, the Knight cards are just jokes. They're not people you would never want to marry a knight. A knight is somebody that feels like they have to go save everyone. They're going to be looking for somebody to save, rescue you, heal you. It's giving, and I hate to use celebrities, but it's giving Stefan Diggs energy. It's like the Knight of Cups. So I just feel like, you know, if you don't know who he is, he's a football player, but charming, I'll say charming, possibly handsome, romantic, very sexual, possibly promiscuous though. So this Knight of Cups could have been like, yeah, I'm actually like the collective. I might invite them to this social event. You're not going to go to whatever this is. You're not even going to listen to whatever this Knight of Cups has to say. Because these people, they want you to get in your feelings and to be triggered and to do something out of like your normal character or something. These people want you disappointed and they also want to piss you off. So for whatever reason, they're trying to provoke you by causing endings. And now these people are experiencing a major ending. It's a loss that's unavoidable, this death. This could be the end of these people working together. Because the Knight of Pentacles was the practitioner. The Knight of Wands, or the King of Wands, excuse me, was the spouse or lover of the Queen of Wands. Then the Knight of Cups is a whole other person. Someone else that they know. It's disgusting. Wheel of Fortune. You're stepping into your destiny and your fate. I combined them. You're stepping, so destiny is somewhere where God has created something for you. Okay, you, your higher self, God has made something for you. So destiny is something that you will get to. You will get to it, okay? Just how long depends on which door you go down in life. You know, there's many doors to the mansion. All roads will lead to Rome. They'll all lead to home. They'll all lead to you finding yourself as God. Just as soon as, you know, depending on what path you take, it could take years and years and years, or not even happen in this lifetime and happen in a different lifetime. So I feel like our one purpose in life is to realize that we are God. Once we do that, everything else falls into place. That's in my perspective. Then anything that you want to do with your God-given abilities, your inheritance that comes from God, your roots, your heart, your mind, anything that you want to do from that point forward will be a part of your destiny. It'll be a part of your highest potential manifestation for your life. So the Four of Pentacles talks about gifts that come from God. These people could be super bothered about that. Oh, well. Yeah, I think you guys know that it's foolish to try to control others, people's actions and situations. Resistance to change is affecting your judgment. That's one thing that I'm getting, is that you could be like, oh, I don't want to change this pattern that I have. But yeah, you actually do. When you raise your frequency, you shift that pattern, then your world looks completely different and you can experience things in a new way. These people, they like to live on the, I would say, like dangerous, toxic side of life. Two of Pentacles, you could be receiving messages, not only from me, but like you could be getting an email soon or receiving a message from an ancestor in a dream. You could be getting a message from the courts. You could be getting a message from these people. I get that this Two of Pentacles is a good message, though. You could be picking up a project that you put aside because you didn't know why endings came to it. Yeah, there was a time when I was like, why is this so difficult? And then I realized, oh, because there's witchcraft being done. And then I removed that. And then I like ripped the get. I do something when people do that shit to me. I do something or God does something that completely stops all of it. And so it does not ever come from that person ever again once this situation's been cleared to the point where it needs to be cleared. And like why God gave us free wills, because there is no right or wrong. There's just either in alignment with higher self God or not. And so you don't have to look at it as right or wrong, good or bad. That gets you stuck in polarity, right? You want to be more neutral about things. I feel like because you are neutral about these people where they want you to be upset and like stressed out and having panic attacks, you're like over here just relaxed, like chilling. You feel more competent and more secure, like with you just being by yourself than these people do being all together. And I feel like that says something about you. Two of Cups. Yes, for every action, there's a reaction. Remember that. Science. For every action, there's a reaction. There was a movie a long time ago called The Butterfly Effect, and it shows that. Like, everything that you do has a butterfly effect. It's a really good movie. Two of Cups. Oh, by the way, I watched the new Avatar Fire and Ash movie. Oh my gosh, it's the best one out of all of them yet. So if you want to watch that. Tropical Tarot, welcome in. Okay. Good. Good. Okay, awesome. I will answer your question. I was just thinking about you the other day and I was like, things must be going really well, which that makes me so happy. Oh my gosh. Makes me so happy. Yay. Because that means we worked on the situation and it got better. Okay, so we're going to go to the twin flame. Oh, thank you. You're the best as well. I'm so glad that it got better. All right. Well, I get, that a lot of things have kind of been worked through. It feels like, well, yeah, if she is done with the ex, that is what's going to keep her from getting, I hate to use the word possessed, but possessed again. So I really hope that she is 100% on that and doesn't go back on that. Because again, while you're on like vacation things, when you have something to do continuously, I will say that when I went to Hawaii, now I can't afford to go to Hawaii now, but I shouldn't say that. I someday will afford to go to Hawaii again. But when I went in the past, I was smoking cigarettes at that point and I needed to quit smoking cigarettes. So I just stopped. When I went on vacation, it made it easy to stop smoking. So yeah, you can use a vacation, in that type of way of stopping a habit. And I feel like the habit with her ex, I really hope that it stopped because well, we already know that he was bad for the relationship, point blank, period. Seven of Cups, choices, indecisions, opportunity, fantasy, and illusions. So just as much as those hands can be used to create a heart, they can also be used to slap or push someone away. I feel like different choices are being made, and this could be what's bringing in good karma. If there is any type of fantasy or illusion that's going on, let me just ask really quick. Okay, so is there a fantasy illusion going on with Tropical Tarot? No. Is there one going on with Jackie? Yes. Is there one going on with whoever the third party X is? Yes. So those people they still have some part of an illusion about the situation. I feel like it's the remnants of the witchcraft that's causing them to be in fantasy, but I get that this vacation's ultimately going to strengthen the relationship. Now, please pray over your home. Do something to cleanse your home. Please pray and cleanse over her house as well. Oh, yeah. I hope she doesn't try to do any more witchcraft. Two of Wands, planning and waiting, making a decision, choosing a path. So this is going to open a door for her to choose a path permanently, I feel. And, you know, it's like, I don't look at age difference as being a blockage, but I will say that the path that she was on was leading her to destruction. She's very fortunate to have you. I will say that. Queen of Wands in the reverse. Yo, that is like a witch in the reverse. Okay, that could be part of what's causing the illusion though, but I feel like that's her energy. Six of Cups in the reverse. Nostalgic memories, past sentiment. What is that about? Okay, this could be part of the illusion that she's stuck under. She could be remembering things wrong about something, but yeah, whatever it is that she's going through, it's kind of like she caused it herself. It's a butterfly effect. Okay, choosing a path. So who is choosing a path? Is it her? Yes. Is it also him though? Yes. So this could be about you needing to choose another path. And that just means like, you know how I was using smoking as a habit, creating a new positive habit. Okay. Like where you're on vacation right now, you have a lot of positive stimulus. When you go back home, create a positive habit that and try to instill this within her as well. Something positive. It would be cool if you guys both got interested in spirituality, you know? But yeah, this time frame, you know, if she does stop talking to the ex, that would be the best thing. Three of Swords. Because with that person, it's only going to be heartache and pain. Damn. Separation and grief, sorrow and trauma. Okay, but what does Tropical Tarot need to do as far as making a decision? Not what the decision is, but I get that it's about creating a new pattern with her. What I'm being shown is like you being able to release the past is so important. Okay, look at this time frame of you guys being together and at least try to reset. I don't want to say reset the clock because that's not accurate, but try to do a reset on the relationship, which means all of the stuff that was happening in the past, don't look past it, like be unaware, you know, that she tried to do spell on you, etc. Don't look past that, but I would say don't drag it into the future. Sometimes people that are in relationships, when they think about a certain relationship, and I've been in this mindset before, and it's a very low vibrational, dark mindset. And I hate to talk about it, but I just want to make you aware of it so that you can think something new. But don't look back on the past and keep a tally of everything that person did to disappoint you or upset you. Okay? Like, that's just not healthy. And I know human minds, they do that. But also don't look past the past either. So it's choosing a path that allows you to come into alignment, I feel. And just know that there's no animal, there's no like baby that can be made. And I'm not just saying that you can't have babies, but I'm just saying that don't use any type of thing to fix a situation. Like some people think a baby will keep a person there. That's not true. Don't even go down that path unless you want to have a baby, then prepare for that financially. But I will say, like, don't think that like a dog or a car or whatever can fix a relationship. It has to take two people that are willing to work on the situation together. Okay. And so with her being disconnected from this other person, I feel like you guys actually have a chance. But as far as your habits and stuff like that, and she could keep a tally against you as well. But I would take this opportunity to create a new path and hit the reset button and, let that stuff go. Allow this person to show you who they truly are. Eight of Swords. Now, what is the Eight of Swords there for? Eight of Swords is like jail, or it could be, she could be in spiritual jail for trying to cast a spell on you or multiple. But that's what I'm getting that is. Okay, that's not physical jail, right? No, okay. It's like spiritual jail. So the good thing is it looks like she's permanently restricted from doing that ever again. The Wheel of Fortune and the King of Pentacles, fate, positive cycles, positive changes, cycles and changes. So yeah, the path that you're choosing, it looks like it's part of fate and destiny. King of Pentacles, abundance and prosperity. This is literally somebody with a child. You could be wanting a child. I feel like you're going to use your fortune to establish something so that you can have the means to support a child. That's just the smartest way, you know. If I were to have a child, I would never have a child because I have genetic stuff that I would never want to pass to a child. But like, if I were to have a child, I would probably do a gene test with that other person. I know that those are possible. So they can make sure that, you know, the genetics looks good. But yeah, it's a big commitment. Children are a big commitment and they take a lot of time, a lot of energy, but they're also great sources of unconditional love and happiness. I will say a child will bring you so much happiness in your life if you treat it right and know how to love it correctly. King of Cups. Yeah, you're at this point where you're very wise. You could be in and out of the water at the ocean, but you're at this point where like you have multiple king energies coming out next to each other. So, and king is when you're like at your 40s, emperor, and then the emperor shows up. Okay, so these are your strong suits. Being able to provide and being able to love. Those are basically your strong suits. Okay, Kiwi Kid, I will answer your question after I am done with Tropical Tarots. So yeah, this looks really good. Divine masculine, control and authority. I feel like you need to pray over your home before you go back to it. Or actually, I don't think it's your home. I think it's her home. Yeah, it's hers. 3 of Cups. This is a time to celebrate. Celebration, friendships, and reunions. So like I said, treating this experience like, really, like a brand new thing. Like hitting the reset button, basically. But it's not really resetting it. It's just starting it over. And that just means you're not going to hold things against her. And if stuff comes up, there will be things that you have to go through to learn and grow, but there's nothing that's saying that you can't do that together. So the 3 of Cups, the King of Wands, leadership, visions, bold and daring, big ego, optimism. And then we have, I think that's a hawk. So the hawks represent really good vision, being able to see. So I like it. I also see the 3 of Cups as like a harvest. Page of Cups. So let me ask you the Page of Cups. Is this a future child to be born? Okay. Is this a future child to be born? What is this about? Dreamer, naive, innocence, inner child, head in the clouds. Okay, hold on. Let me ask another question. Is this what Queen of Wands needs to work on? Yes. So I'm not going to say needs to, but it would benefit her to heal her inner child and to get her head out of the clouds. Again, fantasy and illusions did show up for her energy. And also, I don't know why she's feeling trapped and restricted other than there's a backfire happening with the magic she tried to do on you. Other than that, I feel like she's not really being restricted in her life in any type of way. And maybe she's going to be heartbroken that the magic didn't work, but I have a feeling that she thinks that it did work. 10 of Swords. Well, that's not good. Why is the 10 of Swords showing up? Defeat and failure, bitterness and betrayed, exhausted, collapse and giving up. You know, the 10 of Swords, I look at that as a pretty negative card. That picture does not represent. This is why I do the Rider-Waite tarot, because some of these pictures just don't represent the card's energy. Anyways, the 10 of Swords, let me ask, is this something that's already, oh, okay, I understand. So her inner child feels like it was betrayed and defeated and in the 10 of Swords. That's what I'm getting. So that's part of her healing her shadow. healing generational wounds, traumas, and things like that. I feel like you're a very good support system for her. In fact, you may be the only legit support system that she actually has. Like, not to be rude, but sometimes people's parents don't, like, everybody's parents are different, but everybody's support system is also different. Six of Wands, yeah, you're going to have a victory, or you are having a victory. This is like overcoming something huge, triumph and rewards, recognition and praise. Okay, what else does he need to know? So, yeah, it would be cool if you guys could both be interested in actual spirituality, not like just witchcraft, because she'll probably never tell you that she does witchcraft, but a lot of people are like that. Okay, what else? The Chariot. So why is the Chariot showing up? Determination, success, moving forward. Maybe you guys are overcoming something very quickly. Is this also about a future destination? The Chariot. You know, this Chariot energy is like giving me the vibe of maybe Ubering somewhere, getting picked up. Something about that. Yeah, you moving forward, you being determined, because it doesn't really give police energy. Okay, what else does he need to know? So yeah, the energy of the Chariot is very good energy. It's like overcoming illnesses, overcoming, I would say, obstacles, to be quite honest. High Priestess. Yeah, you're moving very quickly forward. I always tell you that you're a High Priestess, though. This could be one thing that she intuitively feels about you. Hidden knowledge, intuition, and mysterious. What else does he need to know about? But I would not be telling everybody that you're a High Priestess, because some people look at that and be like, oh, they know what I'm doing. Like, I better do something to stop that. King of Swords. So is this Tropical Tarot's energy, the King of Swords? Yeah, so you could be ready to defend. The King of Swords is somebody that's moral, has a good moral compass, defends themselves. Emotionally detached, strict and serious authority. You could be calling authority over the situation. I do get that that is what's happening. And what I'm seeing with her is wounds. She has, you know, definite things to work on. We all do, though. There's no person that's going to be perfect, but stuff that she has to work on is, you know, affecting her in some type of way. And it looks like you've worked through a lot of stuff already. That could be the age gap. Again, I'm not judging anybody by age. Magician, manifestation, willpower, and resourceful. You being in the King of Swords and the Magician is extremely powerful. So you are manifesting. And I feel like also the High Priestess and the Magician, you are manifesting. Okay, what else do we need to know about this situation and then the future? Or is there anything about the future? Are we just supposed to allow that to manifest? 10 of Wands. Yeah, this burden and stress, anxiety and defeat, burnout energy. The year of the horse, we're in the year of the fire horse. The last year of the fire horse was 1966. The energy of the fire horse is about political upheaval, political rivals and wars, and it's also about burnout. So I would just be careful of not, you know, doing too much, whether it comes to exercise, alcohol, or whatever. Or I don't, you know, you probably don't drink, but it could be just making sure that you don't get burnout. And the 10 of Wands is like, is somebody feeling very burdened? Again, this picture has absolutely nothing to do with the 10 of Wands. The pictures on this deck, I would like to see their interpretation, because I know what the 10 of Wands means, and it's a burden. So yeah, she could be feeling burdened by this stuff that she needs to heal, but I feel like everybody's got stuff to work on. And witchcraft is not going to heal no wounds that your mama caused or your childhood caused, right? Ace of Pentacles, the Magician and the Ace of Pentacles. So you have new opportunities and abundance coming in. I love that energy for you. And you're very close to succeeding. 2017 was the fire snake. Yeah, we just came out of the year of the snake. wildly. Security and stability. So this is like you getting your blessings from God, you getting paid from God. The star. I do feel like you have a star ability and trait that's meant to be seen by the world, but I know that you're not showing it to the world at this time, but you do have it. And it will bring in an Ace of Pentacles no matter what. Okay, is there anything else that we need to know? What is about the Ten of Wands? Why is she feeling burdened and stressed? Again, I get that it's a past situation that caused her a lot of grief. It could have been that person abusing her. Seven of Wands, defending yourself, protecting. Yeah, you need to protect your star energy, because this person's not, I don't want to say that they're destiny swapping with you, but you just need to protect your energy. They have a lot going on in their energetic field. Defending yourself, protecting, standing your ground. The elephant can always stand up to anything. So establish boundaries where there was not boundaries previously. Establish boundaries, establish more of a comfort to where you could show up. Like, let's say that when you get back home, because you guys live in different places, it would be okay if you showed up without calling. And then, you know, she already feels like she can do that anyways, to show up without calling. So, you know, it should be reciprocated. The trust should be reciprocated. There shouldn't be any meltdowns or episodes or freaking out or anger of you showing up with flowers unannounced or whatever. You know what I mean? There needs to be another layer of trust put down. Yeah, let me look. No, I'm still looking. Okay. Let's see. Is she done with him 100%? And are we going to stay together? Yes. Okay. And is this third party shit over? Okay. So let me look. I did just see that though. Thank you. Queen of Swords, honest and fair, cutthroat, objective, truthful, independent. I mean, I do feel like you guys are going to stay together. She still feels like she wants something from you. What about the third party thing? Because now I'm looking at the Three of Swords and wondering, is this over? I mean, I get that she could go back into the old cycle really, really easily, but I do get that you guys are going to stay together for a while longer. So it's like, oh, this reminds me of this Black Mirror episode. There's this TV show called Black Mirror, and it's like a Twilight Zone type thing. Anyways, there's this episode where there's like a simulation and these people are dating in the simulation and they go through all of the possibilities of experiences that they could have together. And they have this timer that every time they get in a relationship and meet with somebody, that it gives them the amount of time they're going to spend with that person in total. So it could be like the rest of your life, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. Anyways, very interesting concept, but it's reminding me of that. So yeah, you still have time with this person. So, you know, I don't feel like there's anything that has occurred, but you guys are still on vacation. When you get home, if there's not a boundary put in place, more trust, or I would say like creating a new positive habit, you know, so that you can keep the effects of like being on vacation going. And that could be like, that could be going to a crystal, a singing bowl. There's places that have like salt caves. Oh my God, piece of hair, so annoying. I forget what they're called, but like you could go to like a spiritual healing center, and that way she would, you know, have a positive tool like a singing bowl, or so that she can raise her frequency and you know, transmutate the energy. That's what I'm getting. But yeah, I feel like you guys will continue to be together. Is she 100% done with the ex? She still needs to make a decision. I feel like she feels a lot of heartbreak and pain, and you just need to make sure that she knows that there's a boundary there, that if anything with the exes comes up, that, you know, put a boundary there. Say like, that's not acceptable. going back into the past, because if she connects with that person again, she'll get possessed. And that is not what I want for anybody. But she was dealing with somebody who definitely practices magic. And for the magic she tried to do on you, she's basically in the doghouse spiritually. And that's why she's feeling burdened. So I feel like, you know, don't allow your life to be consumed with this person, but still live it and enjoy it. Create a boundary. I do feel like you guys will still be together, but I feel like she's very prone to going back into another five. Why is the Five of Pentacles coming out? Hardship and loss, isolation, abandonment, unemployment struggle. What the hell is that about? The Four of Wands, home and reunion, stability and belonging, celebrations. I don't get that she's in the Five of Pentacles, but she needs to watch what she's doing with her money. So the Four of Wands, the home and reunions, that's a good energy. Why did the Five of Pentacles come out? Stability and belonging, celebrations. Okay. All right, let's get one more card. And then I will go to the next question, which was Kiwi Kid. Knight of Swords. Yeah, that's not a good sign. Okay. I hope she doesn't go back to talking to the person, but she might. I mean, it definitely feels like she has the pattern of doing that, but I also feel like there needs to be a boundary. That's basically it. That's set, you know. And I hope that she does choose to leave these night energies alone. Okay? Because there's really no need. Like, you could be everything that she wants and needs, and she just does not, I don't want to say she doesn't know it or recognize it. She's just used to looking for something else. And whatever else that was shit for her. It was never good for her. And there is an element of greed, the energy of greed. But, and that's as far as whatever she wants from you. There's greed. But again, I don't think that's unnormal. I just think it's unhealthy. So yeah. She's kind of in illusion la land right now, which I think is good for her. And I would set up a boundary. I would, you know, take the relationship to a stable place. Being like, you know, where you can trust her. I think that's the most important thing. Okay. So I hope that helped. God bless you guys. I'm so glad that you guys are doing better. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That is amazing. Okay, Kiwi Kid, what is your question? I'm just shuffling the original Rider-Waite. After using this and the pictures being so not what the card means, like, I'm like, oh, I'm ready to go back to the original tarot. Literally, which I think is so funny. Okay. So Kiwi Kid, do you have a question? Let me know that you're still here. I'm going to set the timer and I'm going to start pulling some card. I'm going to pull some card. Just make sure you can see my messages. They don't want you getting help. I'm seeing that one right there. So yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and send your question in. And if it's not letting it go through, I don't know why the AI system, it's fuckety. The YouTube is fuckety. I would try to rephrase what you're stating. That's what I would do. I try to use different words, basically, because sometimes I don't know why the AI does that. Yeah, so if you're interested in having a personal reading, I set a 20-minute timer, and it is through $20 super chat. But I am doing a reading for the collective as well. Let me look back and see if there's any more messages that I can see from you. Fire snake. Oops. And I hate when it does that. I legit do not know why it does that. Okay, Kiwi Kid, I'm still waiting to see your question come through. I don't want to hit the timer until there's a question. But yeah, yes, if you guys have personal questions, you can send me a $20 super chat, and then I'll pause the collective reading and I'll answer your question. Okay, so let's see. While I wait for your question, let's see what comes up. Because I don't know if you're trying to type and it's not letting you send or what it's doing. But I'm sure I'll be able to, oh my gosh, hair, get off of my face right there. Okay, sorry. I'm sure I'll be able to pick up on whatever it is. I get that it could have to do with, you know, finances and love. King of Wands, let me ask. King of Wands is somebody that could be very sexual. Who is the King of Wands? Is this the collective? Is this Kiwi Kid? Is this also another person? No. Okay, so this is your energy. King of Wands. That's a pretty good energy. Handsome, charismatic, and bold man, over 40. Again, you don't have to be in your 40s, but I will say that strong leadership skills, attracts attention wherever he goes. And I'm so sorry that it's blocking your messages. But I still am watching the chat. So if you have a message, go and you can get it to go through. I don't know why they're censoring you. Okay, let's see. The 10 of Wands. So where is this burden coming from? Life is a constant battle. Okay, this could be about a self-worth issue. The 10 of Wands is somebody carrying a bunch of burdens. I feel like it's time for you to put these burdens down. The King of Wands also shows me, the King of Wands and the 10 of Wands, that also shows me that you've gotten used to carrying these burdens, but I feel like they're unnecessary. It's time to like throw the shackles off, you know? Okay, what else do we need to know? It says on the 10 of Wands to look for new creative solutions to your problems. So make some changes in your life. I feel like that would help you. Okay, what are these changes? Well, what are the changes that are happening right now? Because I can feel something in the middle of changing. The Wheel of Fortune. So look, there is something blocking you from your Wheel of Fortune, but it's something that you can put down. Maybe it's a mentality or a mindset that you have that maybe you're still thinking that you're responsible for something. I get that you just need to be confident in yourself and do things that you love. Like become a master at doing things that you love, and that will help you to be happy. Because I feel like you don't feel like you have happiness, and that's unnatural. I feel like it's our natural state to be feeling good and happy. That's like what nature is. The High Priestess. Okay, so you are very intuitive. The Wheel of Fortune and the High Priestess. Maybe you're supposed to do something with your intuitive abilities. I did mention like life coach or something the other time that we talked. But yeah, okay. What about the Wheel of Fortune? Because the Wheel of Fortune shows you that destiny and fate is about to come around. And when it does, you'll not have very much control over the rest of your life. So this could be a new creative idea. This could be using your gifts in a unique way. This could be engaging with the public. But I feel like the one thing that's blocking you is you. There are other people's energies here, but they want to cloak themselves. 8 of Wands. God, please uncloak everything. The 10 of Wands to the 8 of Wands. So that shows me like, it shows me you releasing something. Being at a crossroads means that you can go in any direction, right? And like I said, you know, destiny is something that we will get to, hopefully in this lifetime. Just depends what path you take. When you think that you know what the answer is, you know, that's literally a path, and then something will form. And when you know that the answer is you, a new path, and that you are God, that a new path will form. Having that knowledge, you can't unlearn that. That's like taking the red pill in the Matrix. So it looks like you can see through something, and it's part of your destiny and your fate to be able to do that. But whatever these burdens that you've been carrying, it's time to release them. That could mean doing a cleanse. It could be praying. It could be letting go of people that are not serving your highest and best good. And I'm wondering if like, if you had a hard time letting go of things as a child, I'm wondering if that's what I'm seeing here, that this could be a pattern from childhood. Knight of Cups. Who's the Knight of Cups? Is the collective the Knight of Cups? Yes. So you're also showing up as Knight of Cups energy. The Knight of Cups is like somebody that comes in and has the hero trait. I would say comes in and saves somebody in a romantic way. Oh, this is also talking about being possibly invited somewhere. Okay, let's see. Three of Cups. Okay, an abundant harvest. So yeah, if you release, I also pick up on an anxiety of being around other people. That is something that we want to let go of for sure. Clear it out of the way today. Okay, because I do feel like you taking a more active role in being in the community and being in the society, whichever community you choose, I feel like you're gonna not be depressed. Like, that's what I'm literally getting. I'm also getting that you have a cup of love here to offer to somebody. And, you know, these people from the past, if they don't want to accept that cup of love, then you don't have to offer that to them. Sometimes rejection is protection, and you don't know why that other person said no to you, walked away, etc. But you knowing, the way those cards flew out like that, yeah, you knowing is a good thing, because it gives you the ability to heal from the situation. Then you can create a new situation. Okay, so the Two of Wands indicates power and courage. You will command the respect and attention of others. These cards for you are very good. The only ones that are showing up that are not good is the burdens that you're carrying. And like I was saying, these burdens, you can put them down. You can pray, you can meditate, you can use the truth of God techniques. You can, you know, you just need to get above it vibrationally. And we have the 10 of Wands, the 8 of Wands, and the Ace of Wands. So you are being supported by the universe. I just feel like maybe you don't believe that, because you can feel these energies that are against you. For whatever reason, you've drawn in witches and warlocks. And I don't know whatever that reason is, but it's something within you that you need to heal. Also, I get that you're wanting to get things moving in a new direction, but if you keep going down the same path and holding on to the same burdens, which is like old belief systems, emotions, ways of thinking and living, then it's just going to be very hard. But you're like something's about to happen where there's going to be a shift within you that allows you to tap into this Wheel of Fortune energy. So I feel like, you know, give your burdens to God. Allow God to integrate with you, your higher self, and release those burdens. A lot of this is emotional stuff. And feeling, like I said, try not to take rejection personally. Sometimes rejection is protection. And in your case, it is. Because it looks like you're about to draw in somebody who's actually very loving. But it's going to take you being courageous to get back out there and to open yourself up again. Okay. And that's where I'm getting that this is a good thing. Establishing a group of real friends, not fake friends, but real ones. I also get that if you choose to release these burdens, you're going to enter into a real love union, something that's better than what you could have ever imagined. And well, I will say that this person is not perfect from what I can see of their energy, but they do match your energy. Okay. And I don't think anybody is perfect except for Jesus and God. But like, other than that, four of swords. So this is, yeah, if you give these burdens to God and let God handle it, obviously you have to take actions in the physical world. But if you give these burdens to God and allow God to take care of it, it feels to me like it's going to be the end of some type of struggle or war with a whole group of people. Because once you have these watchers, what I'm seeing is watcher angels. I'm also seeing these other things. They're like a shadow person wearing a hat. Once you have these types of things watching you, you just know that whatever was going on energetically in the background, possibly with the moon, that is being removed. Okay. With hidden enemies and with people doing, I would never use the moon for magic. Absolutely not. It goes through cycles. That would create your magic to go through cycles. No way. I'd rather use the sun. 9 of Swords. So yeah, this is the ending of you not being able to move forward, not being able to heal, not being able to get up. Whatever these people were doing to you, I can tell you that they're going to regret they're starting a war with you or trying to block you in any type of way. It looks to me like you have a really good future and you do have a lot to offer somebody. You could end up doing something with your intuitive abilities, or you could already do something with your intuitive abilities. I like literally get that you may end up doing something like that, like what I do or something else. And that way, I think that you having a purpose is something that is what is needed here. Because it does feel like dark night of the soul energy that you just still are not solely convinced on what you're here to do yet. I feel like you're here to bring messages to others. Wow, the 2 of Pentacles, what came out. Messages of love, kindness. It may be in a completely, have a podcast. It may be in, this is something that you'll be interested in. Receiving, messages from the universe. You could get a dream about something. You guys listen to your dreams. So important. Yeah, no, you praying. If you believe prayer is not going to help, then it won't. But like, okay, so the truth of God has a chapter on prayer. This is why I keep telling you to get the truth of God. This is a starting place. I'm going to read about prayer so that you understand what it actually is. And that way we can break you free of that. Because my life before prayer was like me getting attacked spiritually with witchcraft continuously and feeling a victim and crying about it and whining about it. And then my life with prayer was me knowing that I can get through it. 107. And not only knowing that, but actually getting through it. Like that's a huge step. And I still do pray. I pray every single day. 107. But I also use the God technique, which is the most powerful thing. So this is what I'm going to read about prayer. It's coming out of the Truth of God. This book is linked in the description box below. Throughout recorded Western time that we are aware of, there has been a form of communication with God that has been used to beseech guidance and assistance. Prayer, as it has come to be known, can be done inwardly or outwardly. I save this for the last because in a lot of cases it is used for favor. Would you, God, do this for me or them? Bless, protect, smite, etc. Looking outside of themselves for the request to be granted. Many of the religious doctrines in the world say or allude to the temple of God lies within. That has given a good direction to look for God, but misses the target. The oneness that is spoken of by many peoples, the Father and I are one, is what Christ said, all things are one, is saying that God is here and now. Me, you, the blade of grass, that grain of sand are all God having this experience. Prayer, when utilized in its most positive form, can be a useful tool. When we focus on something that makes us feel good, no matter what the words are, we spoke or thought, We create a moment where we are not focusing on something that's negative, which usually doesn't feel good. This, once again, is how creation works. This allows our natural state, joy, unconditional love, and peace to flow into our creation. I would also say compassion and mercy, but yeah, to flow into our creation, and with those things and grace that match our frequency at the time. So it might just be to help with the request just asked if that is a match. So like I said, you have to, if you're praying and you don't believe that prayer is an efficient tool or that it works, you're undoing what you're trying to do. That's counteractive. And you just have to look at it like this. Like, if you've always had that belief, then it's not going to work for you, not in the way that it's meant to, or it could be working and you're just not able to see it. So anytime that prayers you'll use like that, whether to bless the food before eating or any other situation that might call for prayer in someone's mind, I see it as a good excuse to raise your frequency, which is what is happening. We will discuss this in a greater extent in later chapters. But yeah, also, you know, I mentioned before, cleansing out your temple, eating, there are foods that are acidic and there are foods that are alkaline. Incorporate more alkaline foods. I get that that's something that would really help you. And that would be like potatoes. That's the main thing that I think of when I think of alkaline food. Okay. 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, you're going to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. You got to start believing in yourself. I'm hearing that song, We Were Meant to Live for So Much More. I'm going to see who sings it. It's by Switchfoot. It's called Meant to Live. Okay, I'm going to read the lyrics. And wondering why the world has passed him by. Hoping that he's bet for more than arguments and failed attempts to fly. Have we lost ourselves? Somewhere we live inside. Boom, reminding you guys, we live inside. Somewhere we live inside. We were meant to live for so much more. Have we lost ourselves? Somewhere we live inside. Dreaming about providence and whether mice or men have second tries. Maybe we've been living with our eyes half open. Maybe we've been bent and broken. We were meant to live for so much more. Have we lost ourselves? Somewhere we live inside. Somewhere we live inside. And then it just keeps repeating that. We want more than this world's got to offer. We want more than this world's got to offer. We want more than the wars of our fathers. And everything inside screams for second life. That's like being reborn again. Yeah, we were meant to live for so much more. Have we lost ourselves? We were meant to live for so much more. Have we lost ourselves? That's a dope song. You guys should check it out. It was by Switchfoot. Okay, so let's see. But yeah, taking positive action, smudging, praying, using a crystal singing bowl bath, taking a bath, relaxing. This is what I'm getting is going to help you the most right now. And then dreaming of a better future. Like that song was definitely about you. Okay, we were meant to live for so much more. I completely agree. Your life is not meant to be suffering and pain. I promise you that. God has something beautiful for you. But you got to put these burdens down. Whatever these limitations are that you think you have, they're not actually your limitations. So you need to put those down. And the expectations, because expectations taint the creation. Okay, I will look at your question, Tropical Tarot. I just saw that after I'm done with Kiwi Kids. So the Chariot, this is you overcoming an obstacle. That's you overcoming an obstacle. So yes, I do feel like, I feel personally like this is going to be a turnaround point. But now that I know that you weren't believing in prayer when you were praying, when you pray, believe in what you're praying for. Also, I forgot to mention last time, fasting is something that will break you free of a lot of this spell work. Okay. And it doesn't have to be fasting for days and days and days. I personally don't believe in water fasts. I think that's dangerous. But I do believe in like intermittent fasting. And I do believe that fasting can have an effect. And when I was talking about eating more base foods, like alkaline foods, doing some research on that, drinking more alkaline water, it's because, these burdens have caused toxicity in your system. So it's like cleaning out your temple, basically. And yes, our bodies are a temple for our soul. But I get that something is about to change and turn around for you. I feel like it has to do with you releasing these burdens, thinking God's not going to give you more than you can handle. Okay. And also, you may receive a message from somebody that just changes your day. I feel like you're here to give messages. I really do. 8 of Swords. So you're overcoming being restricted, I want to say like mentally imprisoned. It's like mind control, MK Ultra type shit. The freaking glare. Says your own fear, indecision, or priorities may be causing the problem. Solutions do exist. The answers require clear thinking and compromise. It could require you creating a positive habit, like going for a walk each day. I know that sounds simple, but like when we make positive changes to our life and to the way we live, things become better. And I feel like walking helps ground you. It helps clear your head. Yeah, it's been too much. But it's not your burden. You can put it down. Allow God to handle it. Like allow God to hold it for you. That's the best way I can describe. This is why I keep telling you to get the truth of God and use the God technique, because you can't be in God's consciousness and be burdened, right? But if you believe that everything that you do doesn't work, that's also like a problem, because that works against you. So this time when you pray with your heart, okay? I do say that Psalm 91 will work for anyone, because it will. And you just have to be consistent on praying it if you feel like you need protection. But I feel like the most of these blockages is caused by a mindset that you have or something that you were believing in the past. But leave it in the past, because literally, if you drop these burdens feeling like you can't handle something or that you're not capable, if you give these burdens to God, God will handle it and your life will completely change. And it'll free you up to actually have a life that's meant for more than just what you've been going through, if that makes sense. Because you're going to get past it. Eventually, you'll put these burdens down and you got to develop some type of trust and faith in God. That's the main thing that I would say. Working on trust and faith in your higher self, God, creating a connection with God by going within. This is why spiritual people call the New Age so horrible. But like literally, this is why meditation, fasting, prayer, burning sage, taking spiritual baths, working with essential oils. This is why all of that woo-woo stuff that people think, they're all just tools that help you, okay? And so you use them until you don't need them anymore. And whatever tools you've been using to cope have not been helping you. So it's time to establish a new one. Put this stuff into the hands of God, especially if you feel like it's too much for you. If it's too much for you, God is not going to put on your shoulders more than you can handle. I can promise you that. You'll be able to deal with whatever happens. But it just requires making new choices, doing new things, trying new things out, and then not sitting around being stagnant, okay? Because I get that you're about to pop into your destiny anytime here. And so, yeah, if your main fear is about money, you know what I mean? I get that for the future. You just need to put these burdens down right now. When you start doing something for yourself, whether it's a podcast, I was hearing podcast, or something else that you do, money will start flowing. Okay. How you attain money in life is by getting moral energy. So there's a crystal called prehenite, Prehinite. And that crystal stops financial blockages, and it blocks out people who are financial vampires, but it protects your money. And so it's a green and black crystal. Anyways, that one's a really good one to work with when you have so is moss agate. Oh my gosh, there's so many that are good for money. Those are really good ones to work with when you're dealing with money stuff. But I get that a lot of this money stuff you can put into the hands of God. Also, you becoming empowered is extremely important. Okay. That's why I suggest that you get the truth of God. Do the techniques in that book. Release your skepticism, because your skepticism is what's keeping you from being able to manifest correctly. And I really feel like if you just give up these burdens, God is going to handle these witches and warlocks that were working against you. These people that are energy thieves and whatever else. Like, God will handle it. But you have to believe in that. You have to have faith in your own connection. Okay? And establishing a connection, then having faith and putting trust in it. Because you can trust the divine. Okay? That's one thing you can trust. But yes, I will definitely pray for an intervention and for a cleansing. Okay, give me 1 second, you guys. I've got to pee. Also, I was going to say this as well. Also, Kiwi Kid, God is not judging you. Judgment did not come up at all. So I feel like if you were feeling judged, that was because other people were attacking you. But you're going to be okay. And believe in what you're praying for. That's extremely important, okay? Okay. So I'm going back to, yeah, I'm seeing the cleanse me, and make sure that you have money. Absolutely. Well, it looks like you are. You just need to drop the burden. Okay, Tropical Tarot. So just so I understand, was there physical cheating with her? Does she really love you? Is the stuff with Sean over? Is she going to be faithful to me if we will stay together? Okay, I think instead of using the twin flame, because it did not... It did not answer. Well, the pictures on it just did not match the cards, is what I want to say. Okay, so I'm using the telepathy oracle cards. Cupid and the reverse is how this just flew out. Love is in the air when Cupid is around. Okay. So yeah, physical cheating. I don't get that there's physical cheating happening now. I know you guys are together though, but I do get that it happened in the past, but I don't get that it's happening now. And does she really love you? Cupid in the reverse, that's kind of not good. Attract. Well, okay, so the problem that I see with this situation is that she's basically in spiritual jail. And I hate to say this, but like, because she tried to do spell work on you, Cupid is in the reverse. She should have never done that. There's going to be repercussions for that. What is it? Consequences. It's going to be consequences for that, but she's already experiencing them. Says attract. The appeal of soul pairing goes beyond superficiality. So I do feel like, you know, there is an element of greed, and the spirit guides around me are like really emphasizing that. Like they just keep moving and stuff, and they're really, really emphasizing that there's something with greed going on. And I still haven't figured out what it is that she wants from you, but it's something to do with greed. That's the major thing that's going on. Okay, so now I'm going to go down to here. Okay. Let's see. Past life. So you do have a past life with her. I think we figured that out before. Reunite with our loved ones over and over in different lives. Value. Okay, value, that's good coming up. I mean, that focus on the things of value. Okay, what else do we need to know? Love. Love can conquer anything. Oh, everything. I feel like it can conquer anything. Okay, why was Cupid in the reverse, though? What is going on with that? That's the one thing that it's like kind of hard to see how that's observed. As I'm trying to observe the situation, it's kind of hard to see how the backfire of the magic is going to play out. That's the one thing that I feel like is making things, it's almost like two different dimensions, one where she does change and one where she doesn't, and it's like we're at the middle point in between the two. It says notice all noteworthy things in your relationships. Okay, interesting. Clarity. Yes, we want clarity. Take a moment to think about your situation to figure it out. Okay, I'm going to use the tarot now and see, because yes, we want clarity, obviously. But I'm getting that most of these repercussions is actually just a backfire from messing with somebody else's free will. Okay. And it's kind of strange how Sean was doing the same thing to her that she was trying to do to you. Like, that's crazy. So I get that she does love you. High Priestess. Yeah, you tapping into your intuition is extremely important. I do get that she does love you, but she does want something from you. And whatever that is, I don't know if it's love. It doesn't really feel like it is. It's something else. But I also feel like you probably know what it is that she wants from you. Do I feel like there was cheating in the past? Do I feel like there's going to be cheating in the future? I hope not. Ace of Swords, whatever she does from now on, you're protected. Your intuition will protect you. But like I was saying before, setting up a boundary is going to be really important. Putting things in a new direction. I mean, I kind of get that she's going to lapse on probably talking to the ex, you know, but I don't feel like it's happening right now. Seven of Wands. Yeah, defend yourself with your abilities. I do feel like you have the ability to see the future, but you already know that. Stand up for yourself. Yeah, you'll never regret your actions defending yourself. And this is why the universe is protecting you. Five of Pentacles. I don't know what, this is a weird energy. This came out before earlier as well. The Five of Pentacles, maybe she's trying to escape this, but she doesn't want to live with you. I mean, make it make sense. Who is the Five of Pentacles is not his energy. Worry, stress, and insecurities, all aspects of life open to disaster. That's like being casted away. Loss of home, health problems, weight gain, weight loss, and financial ruin. That's not a good energy. Why is that even showing up here? Maybe that's something she was dealing with in the past. Time. She wants your time. That's what she wants from you. I wonder what crystal works against time vampires. Okay, so let time forget those scars. Remember when I was saying don't keep a record of past wrongs done, because that's not going to help the situation. But yeah. I'm not getting the Five of Pentacles is your energy. I'm getting it's hers. And so I'm wondering what is going on there to where her finances are messed up and her being possibly unemployed. I'm not understanding that. This could, is this something that's going to happen in the future? Yes. Okay. So there, she's, whatever's going on, is going on. Wow. And it does talk about support being lost from friends and family, being at the bottom. Jeez. Okay. So clarity will come through time. Twin flames themselves can contain an aspect of each other's personality. So that's interesting that that came out. But again, you can be twin flames with somebody, but if they don't make the right choices, and I would just say choices like the ones that you're making, then they could be in a bad situation. Like anybody could. There's something going on here with stability, and that's what I'm feeling the most, is like there's something that she's going through that maybe she hasn't told you about, or it's going to happen when she gets back. I literally feel like whoever Sean is probably tried to put a love hex on her. The power of love is like a magnet, strength. She's going to get stronger though. The power of love is like a magnet, drawing souls together. Okay, what else? Is there anything that has to do with like what he's worried about going on? Be prepared to accept what fate has in store for you. Strength in accepting what fate has in store for you. What about the third party situations? Like, I don't feel like that's gonna, I feel like when you get back, there's gonna be a short period of a certain amount of time where she doesn't talk to these people, and then I feel like she's gonna relapse. So that's what I'm picking up in the timeline. Rekindle. Every relationship has those magical moments that can be rekindled. I would be focusing on that and not as much worried about, you know, like if you take the relationship to another level where you can show up at her house uninvited and it's not going to be a problem, where there's trust established, I feel like that's putting things in the correct direction, is what I will say. Maze. Even if you feel lost, there's always a way through the maze. Absolutely. Giving labyrinth energy. But I also get, you know, like that whatever this Five of Pentacles energy is not hit yet. That's strictly for the future. And maybe it was something that happened in the past, but doesn't feel like the recent past. Illusion. Avoid the trap of mistaking fantasy for real soul connection. That's funny that this came out because in the last deck, the Twin Flame deck, also illusion and fantasy came out. Interesting. So what's up with the maze and illusion? So what I'm seeing is that if she goes down the same path, something is going to happen. Okay. She goes down the same path. It looks like it'll be the same thing because it's like going back into a new cycle. But if you defend yourself and put up boundaries this time, I feel like things have an opportunity to go differently. However, it is like going through a maze in this relationship. That's literally what I feel. You'll be able to know if she talks to the person or not. You will be able to know. You want to know why? Because you're a high priestess. You'll be able to tell the moment that demonic, hateful spirit comes back, you will know she has talked to X. Okay. So I feel like that's going to show you right there. I would also be praying over your guys' home. Well, at least her home, because I feel like, yeah, spells are being sent to the home for sure. That could be why the Five of Pentacles is going to happen in the future. It's a spell work I'm picking up on. She definitely pissed somebody off. Feelings. Take time to explore the deep emotions you are experiencing and make sure that these feelings of love are not an illusion. I mean, I don't get that you're under witchcraft, but I get that she's under heavy attack. And it's part of what she sent out coming back to her, but it's also part of her saying no to somebody. Confusion. Yeah, you don't want any confusion in the way that you feel. All seekers of truth will experience confusion. Ask the universe to provide you the answers that you need. I also feel like you're not supposed to know everything like that's going to happen in the future, because this person is going to be teaching you a lot of lessons. And that could mean you going through a situation that you went through before with them. Okay. But, yeah, relationship takes two people to tango. True love. You don't want to be confused about true love. Okay, can we get clarity on that? True love appears when you least expect it. True love is something that you feel within yourself. And like, you know how you should be treated, right? So I would be, yes, very aware of that. Embrace what fate has in store to you. So there's twice that it's talked about faith. Accept and embrace. Those are almost the same exact things. So yeah, if fate has a twin flame love contract, the only thing that worries me is that the Cupid energy came out in the reverse. Now there is an astrological thing called dark Cupid, and it's when Cupid, the constellation energy, is in the reverse. It can cause a lot of problems. Let's just say that. And so that's the energy that I'm picking up on. Heart. You start to feel your heartbeat faster as you get closer. Okay. Interesting. What else do we need to know about the situation? Oh, is this what she's about to go through? Is that avoidable? Yes. But can he do anything about it? I guess you could. I guess when this Five of Pentacles energy hits, I guess you could take her in. I mean, that's something you could do about it, but that is something that you have to decide what you want to do. Okay. And this situation hasn't even happened yet, so you do have time. But yeah, Ace of Wands. A Seven of Wands to the Ace of Wands. This is showing me that whatever you put into motion is going to take flight. So if you start this relationship off on a new level, I would say like establishing boundaries and trust and respect. That's what it's supposed to be doing. Death. Jesus. Five of Pentacles and death. What? Why? Okay. Best case scenario, this would be like, actually, I can see this in two different ways. The Five of Pentacles and the death, this could be like you guys moving in together. I would consider that the end of the Five of Pentacles in the future. But I'm also seeing like that the death could be about going through a rebirth, renewal. The end of an era, put the past behind you. How many times is it going to say, it's going to say that? But yeah, that seems like it's super harsh. Why is death coming out like that? Okay, what else do we need to know? Moving forward, I should say, the Hierophant. Who is the Hierophant? Who is the Hierophant? I don't get that that's like a... Is it a spiritual group? Yes. Okay. Interesting. So there's more than one person that's sending her energy. Yes. Okay. Well, that's really difficult to deal with. So she's up under spiritual warfare and probably doesn't know anything on how to defend herself. The Hierophant, I mean, that could be literally getting evicted is what I'm seeing. Nine of Swords, depression. Jeez. Okay. The Nine of Swords is about like being in grief, causing somebody emotional pain. The Hierophant says choose the moral path. Queen of Pentacles. So she is still showing up. Maybe she's sensitive to political things. She still is showing up abundant, though. I don't see anything here that's going to be like, even if she lost her place to live in a job or whatever happens, or she changes, whatever this is, like, because it hasn't happened yet. But whatever it is, even if it does happen, it still looks like she's going to be able to be stable. So I don't know where all of these fears are coming from, but yeah, she helps other people when they're in need, but to her detriment sometimes. Something about this situation is weird to me. It just feels like even with everything that's happening, this is some type of test of what you're going to be willing to accept, I think. Seven of Swords. This is showing me that only one answer is correct for her. Many choices confront, but only one answer is correct. Okay, interesting. What else? I mean, sometimes things have to fall apart so they can be built back together in the best way possible, in the correct way. She needs to establish a relationship with God. I would say it doesn't need to, but it would benefit her in her life to establish a real relationship with God. And that way God could deal with whatever this is that's going on in her energy. Queen of Wands. She definitely has another person that's sending her witchcraft, possibly more than one. That's not, I mean, yikes. She also needs to be careful who she's friends with, who she calls a friend. The Star. The Star came out before as well for you. So this is the new age of Aquarius. You can't sacrifice people, throw them under the bus, try to disconnect people from God, take their gifts and their inheritance, whatever this is. I'm getting that, you know, there's a possibility that same pattern is going to repeat. That's why you making a change is going to be the most powerful thing. Four of Wands. Because she's a part of your creation, right? Okay, let me ask, is the Queen of Wands somebody that, who is the Queen of Wands to the collective? Does this person know the collective? Knows about you? Okay. The Emperor. So you're showing up as Emperor and the Star and the High Priestess. Yeah. Yeah, your intuition's going to tell you what to do. I would listen to it and don't second guess it, okay? You'll be able to tell if she has or if she is talking to what's his face. I promise you that, because she'll be in the same exact state that she was, okay? So I feel like, you know, there's some things in the relationship that do need to be fixed, but nobody is perfect. She is young. Everybody's allowed to make mistakes. I do see a pattern of making mistakes here, but I also feel like there's something about her and this other Queen of Wands and your Star energy, because I've been feeling something that she wants from you, and I feel like it has to do with that. It has to do with time. It has to do with some type of resource. So, well, time, all of that is a resource. So is creative energy. Okay, what else do we need to know? Yeah, whether you guys will be together forever, that's something that you both have to commit to. And I don't see a commitment like that happening. Not now. And I don't see one in the future. I feel like the way that this relationship's going to advance to the next level is by her not being able to pay her bills or something and needing a place to stay. That's like legit what I'm picking up on. But I guess I'm just warning you about that. So you could be prepared when she does be like, Can I stay with you? And again, you have children in your mind. There are children that want to come to this planet through the both of you. And I feel like she's still pretty young, but I don't feel like there's ever, obviously if you're underage, that's not the time to have children. But I feel like, if you guys were to move in together, okay, let's just say that, I feel like it would be easier for her to not talk to the exes. Let's say that. But am I telling you to have her move in with you right away? You need to figure out if you can deal with that. Okay? Because this situation's going to form and she's going to be looking for a new, like, it's going to happen. That's what I'm being told, is that it's going to happen. So it may be the universe pushing you guys into living together, taking it to the next level, the magician. And I hope that she just does not do any more magic. You guys adopting something spiritually going on would be good, but you can't force anybody. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And if her worldview is that witchcraft is the answer, then she's going to find out that that's not the answer. Okay. But you have more power in the spiritual realm than she does, and she doesn't have the star energy. And I feel like that's okay. But as far as what she wants from you, it does have something to do with the star. And the star is about inspiration, insight, and hope, dreams for the future coming true, contact with someone who will dramatically change your life. That's what she wants from you. Strong love between two people, entering a period of serenity and satisfaction. Enjoy the calm period. Emotional needs are filled. Share your good fortune. And the Three of Pentacles, which is a collaboration. Okay, what else? Is there anything else that I'm not seeing that we need to see here? Let me make sure. Is the Queen of Wands the same person as the Queen of Pentacles? Yes. Okay. Is it also another person? Yes. So she is showing up as a Queen of Pentacles and a Queen of Wands, but also there's somebody else in her energy that's showing up as a Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands, we're not labeling people, but it's like the witch energy. Two of Pentacles. Yeah, you may literally receive a good message, okay, about something that you put into motion coming true or coming through for you. The star could also be about getting a wish granted. And I feel like when you're wishing, intention is everything. And then believe that you can have what you ask for. All right, let's get one more card. So yeah, I would be preparing mentally for this situation when it pops up. The sun, yeah, you're here to bring the light and to share the light. And there will be light shed, like basically shine down on this situation, but it may cause you guys to move in together, and that would be taking the relationship to a new level. So you just have to think about what you want. Is that what you want? And then also, if you do want to have children and get married and all of that, I would put some money aside for that. But there is something that she wants from you. And it came out as time, which is a resource, okay? Actual resources, which is like money, and then love. And so there is love there. But I feel like with her living on her own, it would be easy for her to fall back into the same pattern. And that's what I see could be happening. But I also pick up on the spell work that's being directed to her house and her living situation. So let's get one more of the True Love Oracle as well. Study and indication. Indication, watch for signs that lead you to true love. So yeah, I would ask to be shown signs. Study. Let love show you how to learn from each other. Absolutely. So like I said, there's going to be a lot of learning in this situation, and you just have to decide how much you want to go through and if you feel like it's worth it. Okay. But I do feel like you guys will still be together. And I just feel like without you guys living together, which would be taking it to the next level, it'd be easy for her to fall back into a cycle with somebody. But I get, as of now, she's not talking to that person, but you'll know if she does, because she'll act crazy again. Like, that's literally what I'm getting, is that pay attention to the signs. And then you decide what boundary you want to put into place, right? If it's having more trust, which I do encourage that, and then having a connection to God, I encourage both of those things will help you. Okay, you guys. Thank you for making it to the ending of this reading. Oh my gosh, this one was so long, probably the longest I've ever done. If you're interested in the truth of God, go back to the beginning of this reading where I do an in-depth talk about it. And then the truth of God is the one where I like, and Kiwi Kid, I am going to work on your energy as soon as I shut the reading down. And I will talk to the other psychic and have your energy cleared. Okay. So yeah, this is for if you want to develop your connection with God organically. The kingdom of God is within. And for those of you that want to learn to read cards for yourself and others, Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells, I do an in-depth talk at the beginning of this reading about this book as well. Okay. And then I have those books linked. If you're interested, go back to the beginning of this reading where I read from it. I have those books and the original Rider-Waite tarot deck with the description on the cards. I have also linked in the description box below. Okay. So check that stuff out, you guys. I love you so much. Thank you for making it to the ending of this reading. Yeah, permanently cleanse me. That's like asking the impossible. I can clear your energy for now, but if you think thoughts that are not going to make you feel good, you're not going to feel good. So that's why I suggest that you get the truth of God, use the techniques in that book, Kiwi Kid, but there is no permanently cleanse. I can clear you, but if you choose to think a thought that's not in alignment right after I do that, then you're the one creating your reality. So what I can do is basically temporary, and it's like taking the garbage out. I can take the garbage out, but if you go back outside and pick up that garbage and bring it back inside, then I would have to take the garbage out again, right? So I would be working on all of the stuff that's going on, okay? Going within, cleansing, changing the way that you eat, changing the way that you think. Those are the most important things. All right, you guys, please like this video, tap the notification bell. Sorry it was so long, but I'm glad that I was able to help you guys. Peace be with you. Have a wonderful evening. God bless you, okay? I will cleanse you, and I will pray for you as well. All right, you guys, I'll see you in the next reading. Bye.